Ichimoku real quick. So the way the Ichimoku is, and you could probably pull this up. So this is the ATR and the Ichimoku cloud. So this is a custom layout too, and it's paired this way. The ATR is really for the Ichimoku cloud strategy, but I've kind of paired it with the VWAP, and it's pretty cool. So and I usually keep this on a 5-minute chart. So of course the Ichimoku cloud is made up of moving periods and not moving averages. So if it's below the Ichimoku cloud, it's in a downtrend. If it's in between, it's in a neutral space, and if it's above, then it's in an uptrend. And a lot of times people will play the breaks on the Ichimoku clouds, you know, like here it's breaking below Ichimoku here. Well, that's not a good one, but if it's, or you got to reject that Ichimoku cloud right here. It wants to get back in, but can't, so it'll reject and start to enter down into a downtrend again. And then the ATR down here is letting you know how low it can actually get to. You know, and then even up here, the ATR is letting you know how high it could get to if it starts to break above the cloud again and starts to get into an uptrend. Let's look at something like, well, we can't look at Kala because Kala don't really have a good ATR. Or something like LI usually has a nice ATR.
I've noticed like all these indicators, they work pretty good on sort of like a blue chip stock. They trade within their range, and if there's a massive news, they take a dump, and then eventually things will get better. All those penny stocks that have been going from like 10 cents to like $10,
right?
Your multi-day VWAP, everything's gonna be off. So I've noticed like when it comes to that, just do not use any of those indicators. Like just scalp quickly and get out.
Yeah, so if you look at BABA here, the average true range, you know, it got all the way up to that point. It never really broke above it.
Yep.
You know, and from there, it was kind of like, okay, we're at the point of resistance at this point. We've hit our target. If we play BABA to the upside, we broke past any barrier that was coming. We got the Ichimoku cloud letting us know that we're in the uptrend. Then we hit that mark, you know, so we should not be holding anything once we get there, you know. And then it retests it a couple times, and then it breaks down, comes down to this point right here. So of course, once it gets here, we could look for a bounce. If not, if it breaks below, we look for the next line. It breaks back up. We look for the line again. So these, I look at them as profit targets as well. And then, you know, like I said, some people play the Ichimoku cloud breaks where it gets inside the cloud. And then if it breaks above the cloud, breaks out of the cloud to the upside, then it's a good time to go long. Or if it were to break but back below the cloud here, it would be a good time to go short. Like even here on this side, it breaks above the cloud. So usually if we're playing that strategy, you know, we just, and this is kind of for the scanners, you know, we want to know, okay, is it in a position where it could potentially break out of the cloud? Is it starting above the cloud? Is it starting below the cloud? You know, the 7 stocks we buy before breakfast, you know, they're always usually above the Ichimoku cloud on the first 5-minute bar. So we're always looking for that. After the first 5 minutes, like a day like this, BABA wouldn't have been a buy.
Yeah.
It didn't start off above the Ichimoku cloud at the open. This wouldn't have been a buy, even though it did actually break above it afterwards. But it's just, you know, like this probably would have been a buy, even though it turned over and died. So even just because it's a buy on the 5 doesn't mean it still won't turn over on you. But to me, it just gives you market sentiment on how many stocks are above the cloud, and I can kind of gauge the market from there just as a whole. on how many stocks are kind of starting off kind of bullish in certain sectors and things like that. But that's pretty much the strategy for Ichimoku Cloud. I mean, the only, if you want to put it up, you just go to the studies tab, edit, look for Ichimoku. So it's made up of a bunch of different plots. This one's turned off. And this one's turned off, or it'll look like this. And I don't really need those, so I turn them off. The Tenkan, take that off. The Chikou, take that off. So all I really want to see is the Kijun, the Span A, and the Span B.
Okay.
And each one is made up, if you go back into actually, and I'm not sure if you read these books yet, but they're in the bundle, the ebooks. The ebook bundles, let me pull them up. So this one starts with this one, or even this one, 7 Stocks Before Breakfast, talks about it. Trade 7 core stocks more than any other. If I see the opportunity, I'll trade them every single day. Pre-packed breakfast buys, Amazon, Apple, Meta platforms, Tesla, Netflix, and Google, Alibaba. So what happens is these stocks are some of the biggest holdings out there. There's no doubt heard of them. The major institutions trade these stocks constantly. That makes them the easiest ones to pick out the unusual money flows and bank on them. And as you might have guessed, that's what we're exactly trying to do. So this chart right here kind of shows you. There's a lot going on with this chart. Again, you can learn everything I know about the Ichimoku clouds and the Theraport Hedge Fund Trade and Mastery. So the Hedge Fund Trade and Mastery ebook is where you'll find more information on the Ichimoku cloud, Ichimoku cloud and the Greeks, stock volume and UOA, unusual option activity. It kind of breaks down the strategy on the scanners and how to play the scanners.
Where are these ebooks?
They're in the portal. So if you log into the membership portal on the site, and it goes, it's the first tab. It says Start Here.
Oh, textbooks. Okay.
Textbooks and all the textbooks. Hedge Fund Mastery. You got the Confident Trader, Super 8, Ivy Blend, Failed Trader, 7 Days to VWAP. But this one's in there, Hedge Fund Mastery. And this one's the one that kind of overs the strategy of the scanners.
I did read the hedge fund.
Okay, so you've seen this one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it talks about the Ichimoku cloud, moving periods, the components of it. It's made up of 26 periods, what each line is made up out of, what the Greeks are, of course. But for the most part, I just like to see it in a downtrend or an uptrend, above or below the cloud, or if it's inside the cloud and looking to break out. And then, I use these ATR indicators to kind of let me know if there's any type of barrier in the way that's stopping me from getting to my targets.